What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have a new Icarus video for you, an advanced uranium farming guide. We're going to be showing you how to make about 450 uranium rods per hour, about 150 per 20 to 25 minutes. Let's get into it, shall we? So this is a more advanced method for getting uranium rods, and there's lots of prerequisites that we're going to show you that you need to actually do this. Very first thing we're going to show you is some talents that I would highly recommend and one that you need. And we're going to bring up our character here and go to talents. The talents are under adventure, and the talent that you absolutely need will be plyometrics. Plyometrics is going to reduce your stamina consumed by jumping by 50%, and we're going to add another 50% to that with another gear set that we're going to choose for this mission. We're also going to suggest that you use exposure resistance, weathering the storm, and you can also use the masteries. They help with a little bit of movement speed and also some reductions of stats like water consumed in the desert and health regeneration in the forest, stuff like that. You don't have to have these, but they are suggested. Under solo, the only thing I would suggest is fleet-footed and maybe some low maintenance, which is really good to have. You can also use some of the health perks as well if you want to do so. But you don't have to have stamina regeneration because we're basically not going to be using any stamina and jumping the whole time when we're placing beacons on this mission. You also have to have an advanced open world that has already gone all the way up to tier 5 and all the way to oil. And the reason why that is because we're going to be doing a mission that requires you to make a hoverbike. We're not going to be making the hoverbike. We are going to be dropping a hoverbike down though. So that means you have to go all the way through these missions here, go to tier 5 on like an open world. Highly suggest an open world. And what you're going to be doing is going all the way up to at least courier, where you're going to unlock the prototype hover frame, dropping them down on this mission right here, trials. We're going to be repeating this mission trials on missions, not open world, because open world you can only do it once. On missions you can do it multiple times, and you can do it about every 20 to 25 minutes. So we're going to be using trials, and we're also going to need tier 5 unlocked. The hover frames are quite expensive, and they require you to have oil to make. So you have to have oil to make synthetics. You have to have oil to make plastics. You can get active lithium quite easily and then process it in the chemistry bench. And you need 10,000 milliliters of oil to actually just craft. You also will need some things unlocked in your workshop. But the most important thing I'm going to mention is under deployables, and that is MXC refined oil canisters. These are going to be brought down, 2 of them actually, to be precise, on this mission that we're going to be repeating. And you can actually fill these up in your open world and then upload them again, or you could just drop down brand new ones. And that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and drop down some brand new ones, just a few of them for our runs. They only cost 100 Ren each, but if you are quite well off as far as Ren and exotics go, then you can go ahead and buy these. They're quite cheap, and then just drop them or fill them up. It's up to you completely what you want to do, but you want to make sure you have the canisters at least unlocked, and you have 2 completely full canisters for this mission. We're going to go over quite a few other things that you need workshop gear wise. Of course, it all can be found in the workshop. So we're going to go ahead and go to a new mission, go to home missions, and then Elysium. And then we're going to go ahead and choose trials. You have to do all these before you get to trials. This one unlocks the hover frame. So trials,
opportunity to field test a prototype vehicle under live conditions.
And we're going to be doing this, of course, on hard and hardcore. And the reason why we do it on hard and hardcore is because it's going to give us the most amount of uranium rods, which is 150 every 20 to 25 minutes. Now, I say 20 to 25 minutes. If you get it down to 20 minutes, which you can do, and I've done multiple times, it does take a little while to get used to the mission. So it may take you a little while to get to that point, under 20 minutes or 20 minutes to actually complete this. 20 to 25. I mean, if you want to say 30, you're still getting about 300 uranium rods per hour, which is insane. This is a really great method for you to get uranium rods and unlock all the workshop gear and all that good stuff. But what you're going to be doing is hardcore. You're going to claim the prospect. So this is everything we're going to be using on this loadout, and we're going to be using the Scout Arctic Envirosuit. You get this from the Lifeline mission that you need to do before you get to the Trials mission, and it's going to give you the cold resistance you need up in the Arctic and actually give you 4 suit slots, and the 4 suit slots are going to be for the 4 mass dampeners you're going to use. You're going to use this to run around and do the beacons at the beacon portion of this mission. We're also going to bring an Explorer backpack for the movement speed, and that's the only reason why we're doing it is for the movement speed. We're also bringing a full set of Lark Larkwell Martinez Tachyon armor. And the reason why that is because it's going to give us the additional 50% stamina consumed by jumping reduction, making it no stamina consumed when jumping. So you can jump and have infinite stamina with this Tachyon armor set. Also with the mass dampeners and the Tachyon armor set, you're going to be fast enough to outrun anything that's up there in the Arctic. We're going to bring a heated canteen for the little bit of warming per minute, and we're also going to bring an oxygen tank, Larkwell Martinez, for the health regeneration and exposure resistance, and 2 completely full MXC refined oil canisters. So you want to make sure they're 25,000 a piece because you need 50,000 to fill up the hover frame for the mission. And then you have an extra slot here to put whatever you want in there. If you want to put a knife in there, you can, but I don't even do combat while I'm doing this. This is easy. We're going to try to get this done in about 20-25 minutes and go ahead and drop down. So with all this stuff right here, you don't have to drop down any more gear at Eden. You just have to drop down your hover frame at Eden when you first spawn in, and we'll show you that. Now, while I'm dropping down, what I like to do is go ahead and bring up my map and put me a little way marker here at the last little cliff that we have to unstuck at, right here at E11. We're going to be going all the way around in the desert, following this wall here, going through this little ravine here, unstucking up 2 cliffs here, going through the little Arctic forest area and into the Arctic where Captain Church is, and then placing beacons around this little rock here. We're going to grab all our gear here and head to Eden. We're going to go ahead and put our oxygen in, put our water on our bar, and go ahead and control left click these MXC canisters onto our bar. Head up to Eden and drop down our 1 hover frame that we've uploaded from our open world that has oil. And that's all we really have to drop down. You can drop down other things as well if you want to, ammo if you want to. It's up to you, but I'm just going to drop down the hover frame. That's all you really have to drop down. And I've got a few of them here. Just going to go ahead and select one and request. And we're going to carry it out, and I'll show you where to drop it down at and fill it up. We're going to pick it up and slowly duck waddle out of here. I like to head down the side here. You don't have to use the other stairs unless you want to. I'm going to hit G and put it down right here. Now you want to make sure you fill this up completely and let it set for just a second before you hop on it, because you wanted to make sure that it's filled up completely. Once you get that checked off, go ahead and use the bike and head east, southeast. Keep this wall right here to your left. You're going to be holding shift the whole time, boosting the whole time. You're going to have plenty of fuel to get there and back. We're going to speed this up a little bit and show you the route we take. Right here at this little valley, we're going to take a left. And we're going to head towards this little spiky mountain right there. It's got like a little spiky rock on it. We're going to head straight north. And then keep that wall to our left. And we're just going to go around this wall to the left, hugging the wall the best we can. If you aggro something, just keep going, and you're just going to want to keep going until you get to that little canyon here that leads to the forest in Arctic. We're going to be going around the left side of this oasis here. And going through the next oasis. And what we're going to be doing is using the unstuck button to get up top of these 2 cliffs here that are not too far in. And I'll show you how that works. Now with the hoverbike, usually you have to be facing it to unstuck. We can go through this water here, no problem at all. Just kind of avoid these large rock piles. And this one up here as well, just kind of gonna go left. Like so. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and stop, hit unstuck. Now if it doesn't work, you might have to do it a time or 2. But eventually you will get up this mountain. Now if you do have lots of times where it doesn't work, try to turn around and face the opposite direction. We'll show you that because it looks like it's being kind of fickle right now. Sometimes you could turn around like this, face the opposite direction, and then unstuck, and that will get you up the cliff. The bike seems to be really, really, really fickle with that for some reason. Now we're up into the Arctic. We're just going to continue the only way we can go. And head up the cliff here southwest and head towards our red marker, avoiding any rocks that we come across or trees. And just head directly towards your red marker. You're going to have storms sometimes that give you visibility issues. Just letting you know. That's what the 20 to 25 minutes comes into play. It really depends on how lucky you get with the storms. But you can continue with all the gear that we have suggested in our loadout. You can continue in these storms and there's no problem at all. The storms are really easy. They're green storms whenever you first start this mission out. Just heading southwest towards the red marker we placed. In this canyon here. And to the left of this little ravine here. And this is the last cliff we have to unstuck up. Unstuck up this cliff here and head southwest. We're going to be heading towards Captain Church. He is that little person marker to the left of the west compass up top. Just avoid any holes out in this area. There's a few little holes that you need to be careful of. And we're going to drive all the way up here to the very top and go up the stairs like we own the place. Open the doors on the mount if you can. Sometimes it doesn't work. Head up these stairs here. We're going to hit X and take all. And then what we're going to do is control left click that little beacon thing on our bar. Head back to our mount and head to Alpha, which is straight out of the gate. Northeast. And this is where we're going to go ahead and drop our vehicle off and place some beacons. And I'll show you how to place the beacons fast. We're going to go ahead and bring that up, place one right here. We're going to head northwest and we're going to be jumping and placing beacons. When I place a beacon, I usually turn my camera to the right and place a beacon just every 1 to 2 hops. You're going to be wanting to go right here in this little valley or canyon and continue past here. Got a striker there. We're going to aggro it on purpose just to show you that we are faster than it with these modules on and these perks. Nothing can catch up to you. Go to the left, kind of up this hill here. And you'll get faster at this the more you do this. It'll be like second nature because you basically have to go through this course twice. Once on foot, once on the hoverbike. Heading north. Going to Delta. Accidentally didn't place one there. We're going to go to the right of this little cliff here. And down this little steep here. And we're going to take a left. Right here. And then we're going to take our next left as well. And then we're just going to keep this wall right here to our right. And go straight. Kind of northeast. The Z. You'll see it on your compass. Then head towards H, which is south. Sometimes you'll get a snowy mist up here and it kind of makes this a pain in the rear end. But if you're lucky, you get like light snow or Arctic winds or something like that. But now what we're going to do is just continue south. This is the easy part. This is a nice wide open area. There's a vesper nest. Let's aggro it, shall we? We'll be hopping up this hill because if we hop, we don't use stamina. You don't want to place them in front of you because if you do, you might get stuck on it like that. And also your hoverbike does get stuck on them as well. So if you get too steep, kind of go down the hill a little bit. And we're going to be heading back to the very beginning here. And as soon as we get here and place a beacon, we're going to go ahead and hit that little thing to the left. Right here. Then we're going to hop on our bike. We're going to wait till the 0 checks off because you have to get alpha, the very first one. And there we go. And we're going to just run that course the exact same way we just placed the beacons. To the right here. That's what I said. After a few times, you'll get used to this. You'll be able to do this in your sleep. No problem at all. Right here's the check mark. You also can see the points on your compass as well, if you ever get lost. Go down this cliff here, take 2 lefts. This is the first one. And this is the second one. And then just continue to H. And then just continue straight, pretty much. Now, we got lucky on this round. We haven't actually got a single storm. We're going to leave that in the video. Oh, well. And then right here, I like to cut this corner and then head straight back to church or Captain Crunch, whatever. And all we have to do is talk to him. So we're going to go up this little ramp here, slow down a little bit. Go up the stairs, hit E, and then head home.
Trail marked and trial completed. The data
Head towards our red marker.
Return to our contact for your reward. I believe you have earned a blueprint.
And that was 200 Ren and 150 uranium rods. Now all you have to do is go home. The very first cliff up here I'm going to show you, kind of a tactic to go down it, but the rest of them you can just fly over. So we're going to speed up and go to there. Also, if you have an Arctic storm or something in this area, don't forget to take your water canteen for extra heat. I do sometimes forget to take my water canteen, but on this cliff right here, you're going to just go left and just kind of float down this hill here, full speed. And if you fly off that cliff, you will damage your speed bike, so just kind of be careful of that. And now all we're going to do is head northeast. And you see like a snowy mountain there, and then there's a snowy mountain to the right, but then it's not snowy in the middle. That's what you're aiming for, right there, in that little valley where the snow isn't. Directly northeast. And these 2 cliffs right here, you could just fly right over those. Nope. Oops. And then this one too. Stay to the right here. You can go back into the water again. I'm gonna head east towards that pointy rock again. And then once we go past this place, we're going to head directly south. And keep this wall here to our right until we get to Eden. And there's 20 minutes right there. So like I said, 20 to 25 minutes. If we would have unstuck the first time on both those first cliffs and maybe even the third one, we probably could have got it. Now we're going to go ahead and take this up the stairs and upload our mount. You have to take it upstairs. It's faster to drive it up there. Ooh, got stuck. And then just kind of request. Because for some reason when you exit the biome, that thing goes back up again. Send it back up and then upload. And now all we have to do is upload it in our pod. I like to jump on top of my pod. Oh, I missed. That's okay. And then upload. And that's pretty much it for the run. And that will give you, like I said, 150 uranium rods and 200 Ren. Like we said at the very beginning, if you wanted to go ahead and fill up your canisters, once they're emptied, you can go ahead and just drop them into your open world and go ahead and fill them up. There's two ways to do so real quick. We'll show you that. You can, of course, use the natural ore refinery with the biofuel and fill them up that way if you wanted to. And the other way is just use your oil refinery, your crude oil refinery. We got some oils tapped here, and we're going to go ahead and just throw those cans in there and let them fill up. And that will fill up your oil. And if you do that, you just can keep reusing these canisters. You don't have to spend Ren. So you're also going to get about 600 Ren per hour as well when doing this. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I think this is probably the fastest method we have so far for uranium rods. Of course, we have the other video, which you should see coming up on the screen here shortly if you don't have oil or an advanced prospect with tier 5. So check that one out. Maybe it might be a little bit more down your lane. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.